I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, Meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal a three for the win. And goal! He got it!
And he tried to give your choke sign to the Knicks, and the game's not over.
Wow! Picked up by Nimhard, down by 3. Here is a 3 for the tie, short. Caught by Hart, out to Towns, to tie, no! Rebound, fought for, loose, Bridges has got it. Clock is ticking, out of bounds. It's Indiana's ball with .2 to go.
In the ninth.
2 outs, Twins down to their final out. It's Harrison Bader.
Off the end of the bat, didn't get much of it. Kwan has a routine play. Book it. The Guardians earn a split in the rain-shortened 2-game series here in Minneapolis as they win today by a final score of 5-1.
And with that, we welcome you into the Sam Bourquin Show on another rainy, dreary, ugly day in Northeast Ohio. Holy smokes. What is this, Seattle? Are we living in Portland, Oregon? Are we in a rainforest without sun?
What are you talking about, Sam? This is perfect barbecue weather.
What is going on? Seriously, what is going on? I feel like we are living in some kind of a time warp where it's just rain and wind and gloom and doom and rain and doom and
hey, class
when is
of
it going to stop?
You are this close to senior year. Are you ready?
Get ready to see yourself in a whole new light. Laura Esposito is not just...
Hello, Laura. Good to see you. Hope you are well with the photography business. We certainly hope that you are. But yeah, what is with the weather here? Well, you know what? I guess we were warned. We were warned about 4 or 5 days ago that this was the pattern that we were going to be in for about 2 weeks. And I thought, well, there's going to be a little exaggeration there. It'll probably be about maybe, 8 or 9 days. It's going to be like a full 2 weeks of this. So yeah, my thoughts and prayers with all of you and your lawns. And my thoughts and prayers with all of you and me for when we are finally able to get out and mow our grass. How fun is that going to be? We're all going to have to bring sickles out to the front and backyards and just start whacking. Grass, weeds, brush, bushes that are getting out of control. Man alive. Hey, you know what, though? We're going to brighten up your day today. We got a great show here on this 3-question Thursday edition of the Sam Bourquin program. Welcome into 1310 WDPN. Welcome into the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can check us out on the DPN X page and Facebook page as well. Here's what we got today. Obviously, we're going to take take a look back at last night's Pacers-Knicks game. Absolutely unbelievable. I've seen a lot of great comebacks in my day. That was one of the best games I think I've seen in a long, long time. And boy, the New York Knicks, boy, did they spit the bit last night. Credit Indiana. I was sitting there watching the game last night, and the Knicks were up 17. I said, the Pacers got them right where they want them. Like I was kidding myself. And lo and behold, Coach Carlisle's crew comes back and pulls off a miraculous win at MSG. They take a 1-zip lead in that best-of-7 series. That was phenomenal. That was just a phenomenal basketball game. The Guardians are going to attempt to play the Detroit Tigers today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm afraid to go look at the Weather Channel app and see what the weather is in Detroit. I mean, wouldn't we be a part of that same weather system that's going on there almost? So I don't know what it's going to be like there, but hopefully they can get all those baseball games in, and hopefully the Guardians can get out of there and get a couple of wins. Right now, I'm just hoping for a split. Right now, you're 6 out. You're 6 out in the division. If you get swept, you'll be 10 out. If you can split, you can hang around a little bit. Just don't get 10 out, because remember, the Dodgers are coming to town. We're also going to talk some high school baseball this afternoon from the GlenOak Golden Eagles. The skipper, Ray Frisbee, is going to join us at around 3:35 today. So you GlenOak baseball fans, moms, dads, grandparents, boosters, we're going to talk a little Golden Eagle baseball with Ray Frisbee at 3:35. At 5:15 today, we're going to talk with Hoover Viking baseball coach Brian Ashby. So you North Canton Hoover Viking fans, moms and dads and baseball parents, Coach Ashby coming on, talk a little Hoover hardball at 5:15. And in between there, we're going to talk some basketball with the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards. That is David Wertz. He is going to be taking over the basketball program for the Leopards. We'll check in with Coach Wertz today at 4:20. So you Louisville fans don't want to miss that. Also, we have our On This Day in Sports History, and we also have our 3-question Thursday quiz. Here it is. Question number 1. Who is your all-time favorite pro sports athlete? All time. Who is your all-time favorite pro sports athlete? Number 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? Huh? Think about that for a minute. What's your go-to karaoke song? And question number 3, I thought I would kind of tie this in with the Hall of Fame ribs burn-off coming up this weekend. What's the best place in the area to go get ribs? Where's the best place to go? Best place to get ribs. That's your 3-question Thursday here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Question 1, your all-time favorite sports athlete. Question number 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? And question 3, the best place in the area to go get ribs. Love to hear from you today. Alliance, Canton, Massillon, New Philly, Barberton, all over the state of Ohio and all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Our phone number is 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. And you can also text the program as well. We love those. 330-924-7088. I think we're going to get a lot of great response today on our 3-question Thursday quiz. And I will read some of those off for you coming up here in just a minute. But I want to go back to that game last night. The Indiana Pacers are possibly a team of destiny this year. Look at all the comebacks they have had since the postseason began. And I'm going to go all the way back to the first round when they beat Milwaukee. Just incredible comeback they had, especially that last game for them to win the series. Then they took on our Cleveland Cavaliers. And how many nights did they have to come back from 19 or 20 and eventually put the Cavs away 4-1 in that best-of-7 series? And then last night, and boy, I hope you didn't really pay attention to what I said yesterday about what I thought the point total was going to be. I know it was like 221.5. I thought, Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks, Pacers, physicality, bright lights. There's no way. Oh, it'll be like, 108, 102 or something like that. Well, that went right out the board. That went right out. 138, 135. The Pacers win it. And they come from 17 down. Tyrese Halliburton, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, and a steal. This guy is the real deal. Naismith had 30 points last night. Turner had 14. Nembhard had 15. McConnell had 10 off the bench. But it's when they get their points. It's when they get them. New York was running them right off the floor. Third quarter into the early fourth. If it wouldn't have been the Indiana Pacers last night against the Knicks, I would have turned my TV off. I would have shut it off because I just would have. But I've seen this Indiana team. We've seen this Indiana team in the playoffs. Just, they don't blink. They always think we've got a shot. And they do. Karl Anthony Towns had 35 last night. How about Jalen Brunson for New York? 43 points last night for the Knicks. Bridges had 16. Anunoby had 16. But the story was the Indiana Pacers and how they came back to win that game last night on the road at Madison Square Garden in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Folks, this could be the team. This could be the team to do it. And I will tell you, talent-wise, if you look at the two teams in the East, New York and Indiana, and you switch over to the West, you look at Oklahoma City, and you look at Minnesota, is Indiana just on talent alone, are they the least talented team that's still left in the playoffs? I mean, think about just the talent, the big names. I mean, I just look at New York. Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby. Josh Hart's a pretty good ball player, too. And look at Minnesota. They got the Ant-Man. They got Gobert. Look at Oklahoma City. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Chet Holmgren. I think Indiana might be the least talented of the four teams. But ladies and gentlemen, this team has got a big, big heart. And they've got guts. And they are mentally tough. And they are physically tough. And they are very well coached. And they just go out and they play their game. You know what they're bringing to the table. They're going to try to get it out and push. And that's what they're going to do. Make, that's what they're going to do. They get down 5, 10, 15, 20, not a problem. Sometimes Coach Carlisle doesn't even call them over for a timeout while they're getting run off the floor. He lets them play out of it. Guy hits a 3. Siakam gets a rebound. Turner hits a 2. Naismith hits a 3. Halliburton hits 4 or 5 threes. And pretty soon you're like, what just happened to our 19, 20-point lead? Ask the Bucks. Ask the Cavs. Ask the Knicks. Poof, it's gone. That was a hell of a game last night. Absolutely incredible basketball. Could that be the tone setter for the series? Or do you think the Knicks, I think the Knicks, they got some guts. They'll come back. Tibbs isn't going to let this team roll over after one game like that. Now, that was a punch to the gut, man. You get somebody down like that at home, you're supposed to put them away. They didn't put them away. Now we've got game 2 tonight of the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City, Minnesota. The Thunder lead that series 1-0. 114-88, I think, was the final. Game 1. No contesto. We'll see if the Minnesota Timberwolves now dig a little deeper tonight and try to tie that best-of-7 series 1-1 in OKC. Just fantastic. I told you the other day, I said, I think these games are going to be fantastic. Now, Oklahoma City, Minnesota better give us a good one tonight because the Knicks and Pacers put on an absolute show for the ages last night. Hope you had a chance to watch it because it was pretty impressive. All right, we're going to step out. Coming up on 24 minutes past the hour. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can text the show at 330-924-7088. Talking a little NBA. We'll get into the Guards and Tigers coming up. Don't forget GlenOak baseball coach Ray Frisbee coming up at 3:35. We've also got our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question 1, who's your all-time favorite sports athlete? Number 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? And number 3, around here, around the area, where's the best place to get ribs? Let us know. It's a 3-question Thursday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show, and it's here on 1310 WDPN.
Hey, class of 2026, you are this close to senior year. Are you ready?
Get ready to see yourself in a whole new light. Laura Esposito is not just taking pictures, she's creating confidence, one epic senior portrait at a time. Imagine walking out of your photo session feeling like your absolute best self, with images that make you say, wow, is that really me? Seniors, this is your moment to shine. And Laura means really shine. Her sessions are part photo shoot, part confidence boost, and 100% fun. Parents, you'll love how she makes the entire process smooth and stress-free. Serving All-Star County schools and surrounding areas, Laura transforms senior year milestones into jaw-dropping memories that'll make you smile for years to come.
I see you, I hear you, I've got you, every step of the way.
Ready to look and feel incredible? Book your senior session today. Visit LauraEspositoPhotography.com or call 330-704-6473. Your most confident self is waiting.
Are you looking to send flowers to someone special? Let DeHoff's Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping take the hassle out of this beautiful gesture for you. When you order online through national flower dealers, you lose 20 to 30% of your money because it goes to the middleman. Get more bloom for your buck and order from DeHoff's. They'll deliver. It's true, when you skip the middleman, all your money goes towards the flowers, and that makes everyone happy. Well, except the middleman. Locally owned and operated, the experts at DeHoff's have over 61 years of professional knowledge and experience, and they'll be happy to design the perfect arrangement for all the events in your life. So remember, DeHoffs.com, and you'll always get more bloom for your buck. In Alliance on the corner of Beach and Beechwood, you can order by phone, too, at 330-823-1455.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the program. We've got about 5 minutes before we get you to the bottom of the hour. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can always text the program, 330-924-7088. All right, let's take a look at some of the responses and comments on our 3-question Thursday quiz today. Question number 1, if you're just joining us, welcome in, everybody. Who is your all-time favorite professional athlete? Question number 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? Question 3, what's the best place around the area to get ribs? All right, let's go here. Let's start it off. Mark Lehman says Roger Staubach is his favorite athlete. Go-to karaoke song, Taking Care of Business. Applebee's is his place to go get ribs. Tony Garman, Tony the Roofer. He says Pat Tillman, his all-time favorite pro athlete. Go-to karaoke song, Used to Be My Girl by the OJs. Oh, that's a classic. Palumbo's is his spot to go get ribs. Jason Johnson says Nick Chubb is his favorite pro athlete. Go-to karaoke song, Luke Combs, Forever After All. And his place to get ribs is Texas Roadhouse. Tommy Michaelides says Bo Jackson is his favorite athlete. Sweet Caroline for the karaoke song. And Old Carolina is his place to go get ribs. Let's see here. Johnny Bozica checking in with us today. Rory McIlroy is his favorite pro athlete. The Piano Man by Billy Joel is his go-to karaoke. And John says, you know what? I'll just make my ribs at home. And that's exactly what they do. Jim Baumgartner checking in. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Well, Barry Sanders, his favorite pro athlete. His go-to karaoke, Country Boy Can Survive. And his favorite place to go get ribs at home, his very own smoker. All right, two more here. Doug Parton says Larry Bird, his all-time favorite athlete. His go-to karaoke song by Kenny Rogers, The Coward of the County. Wow. And he says, you know what? My mom's home-cooked ribs. That's the place where I go. And one more. Eric Snodgrass checking in on Facebook today. Albert Bell, his favorite pro athlete. Hotel California for the karaoke song. And there's another one for Old Carolina to go get the ribs. Keep those comments coming in on my Facebook page on AM 1310 WDPN, and, of course, the Q92 X page as well. Or you can also call in here at 330-821-1310. Speaking of ribs, make sure you come and see us at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival. Not yet, but the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend, beginning Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The rain is supposed to be out of here, I think, by tomorrow at like 10 or 11 a.m. And then the rest of the day is going to be good. Might be a little chilly, but it's going to be dry. And we might even get some sunshine in here with a little bit of cool temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. But it's going to be fun. Come on out and see us between 1310 WDPN and our sister station Q92. We'll have you covered. We'll all be out there all weekend long. Come on out and see us. You can win some great prizes, have some great drinks, some great food, and enjoy the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off that's coming up this weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The news is next on 1310. Stick around.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Authorities say 2 people died and multiple others were injured when a private jet crashed into military housing in San Diego during foggy weather. The accident ignited cars parked along a suburban neighborhood block and killed multiple people on board the plane. Assistant San Diego Fire Chief Dan Eddy says the aircraft could hold 8 to 10 people, but it's unknown how many were on the aircraft. He says authorities will be investigating whether the plane hit a power line. The aircraft crashed just before 4 a.m. today into the U.S. military's largest housing neighborhood. A suspect is in custody after 2 Israeli embassy staffers, a young couple, were shot and killed while leaving an event at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Police say the suspect walked into the museum shortly after the shooting, saying "Free Palestine," before he was taken into custody. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest from President Trump, who spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today.
President Trump spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today and discussed the shooting in Washington, D.C. that left 2 Israeli embassy staffers dead. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is outraged and saddened by the deaths.
The evil of anti-Semitism must be eradicated from our society.
Leavitt said the president and Netanyahu also spoke about progress on a nuclear agreement with Iran and said the president believes it's moving in the right direction. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
House Republicans stayed up all night to pass their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package. Speaker Mike Johnson defied skeptics within his ranks and muscled President Trump's priority bill to approval today. Last-minute concessions and a stern warning from the president appeared to win over the holdouts to salvage what he calls the big, beautiful bill. The outcome caps an intense time on the Capitol Hill with days of private negotiations and public committee hearings. Democrats, without the votes to stop Trump's package, tried to stall it. The Congressional Budget Office says the tax provisions would add $3.8 trillion to federal deficits. Even as recovery continues from last year's devastating hurricanes, federal forecasters are expecting another active storm season this year. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Improved technology and modeling brought a near-perfect prediction to the 2024 Atlantic storm season. In 2025, National Weather Service Director Ken Graham is expecting 13 to 19 named storms, those with winds above 39 miles per hour.
Of these, 6 to 10 are forecast to become hurricanes, and 3 to 5 is the number of major hurricanes as Cat 3 and above.
Hurricane season starts June 1st, but Graham is urging people living along the coast to prepare emergency kits now. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
It's 52 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Keep the umbrella handy for this afternoon. Showers and a high near 54. For the overnight, cloudy skies. The threat of showers will linger on, the low of 45. Clouds will hang around for Friday with a chance of afternoon showers, a high reaching 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, 1310 WDPN, and streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Coming up here in just about a minute or so, we're going to be talking some GlenOak Gold Eagles baseball with the head coach of GlenOak, and of course is Ray Frisbee. So GlenOak baseball fans, sit tight. You guys coming up here on 1310 WDPN. Our 3-question Thursday poll quiz today. Question number 1, who's your favorite all-time pro athlete? Who would that be? Question number 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? And question number 3, best place to get ribs. That is our 3-question Thursday quiz. Let us know. Drop the comments on our social media platforms, or you can ring us as well at 330-821-1310. Don't forget, coming up at, let's see here, 4:20 this afternoon, we're going to talk to the new head basketball coach at Louisville, David Wertz. So that'll be at 4:20 today. We'll talk a little Hoover baseball. Brian Ashby will join us at 5:15. Also, we're on this day in sports history coming up at 5:30. All right, right now, let's talk a little GLENO. GlenOak baseball with Ray Frisbee, head coach of the Gold Eagles, kind enough to join us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Coach Frisbee, how we doing today?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Hey, what a great, well, I shouldn't say start. You're 26 games in, but what a heck of a year you guys are having so far and getting ready to maybe make some noise in the tournament. Coach, I got you 22-4. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Okay, 22-4, and Hudson, hopefully tomorrow, you can get that one in. But, gosh, I guess I'll start with the obligatory. Well, Coach, you know it's been raining for like 3 weeks. How has that affected your club? Are you guys still able to stay sharp with all this nonsense?
You know, we've been blessed with the turf this year.
Yes.
The infield.
Yes.
We you know, it's funny. I've seen it like one of the top 5 or 6 wettest Northeast Ohio springs in a long time. You know, we're fortunate enough that we have turf, and we've played on some dates at other places, and we can get games in. So yeah, we're definitely happy with where we're at.
So what has been the key so far in this 22-win season for you guys?
You know, we are playing GlenOak baseball. And when I say GlenOak baseball, I was fortunate enough to play for Coach Gilhousen.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the next man up. And we have done a great job, whether it's pitching, defense, and hitting. Somebody else steps up every single game for us that maybe is not a guy that you would expect. And we've had some very tough and close games, a lot of 1-run games, 2-run games, and I think we've come out on top 10 out of 12 of those games. But it's somebody new stepping up every game.
You guys have played a nice schedule. Of course, you got the Federal League showdowns with Jackson and Hoover. You got Mentor was mixed in this year. Louisville, Massillon's got a pretty decent squad. Barlington's having a pretty good year. McKinley's kind of an up-and-comer in the league this season. Austin Town Fitch, you took care of them the other day. As you moved along here, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 games into the season, how did you feel about every chunk of 5 games, and what were you guys trying to work on and work through to get better?
Well, the biggest thing is that we have become a very close team. We have done a lot of great things collectively. Some guys have stepped up in some big moments, and some guys have done some great things, whether it's make a defensive play, get an out, get a big hit. We've had a couple walk-off wins, and not every one of those was the same guy. So it's refreshing to see that it's the next man up mentality. We go through every week and talk about what we can do to help the team. And the biggest thing that our team is doing is making sure that they pass the bat, they make the out for the pitcher, or the pitcher picks the guy up that maybe made an error or couldn't quite get the out.
Well, you can be a talented team, you can be a fun team, but when you got guys that they want to play for each other, they want to play for you, they want to play for the staff, they want to play for the school, the community, that's when you say, hey, man, we might have something here. And you don't always get that. I mean, you just don't at whatever level it is, but every once in a while that melting pot kind of comes together, and you can dream big. And I think you guys are about to do that and maybe make a deep tournament run, hopefully here this season. Okay. I don't want to just name single guys out because I know it is a team sport, so I won't do that. I will put that upon you to tell the folks out there listening, who are some of the guys that are really bringing it home for you so far this year?
Well, the top of our lineup is as tough as anybody's. We have Bryce Broom, our leadoff guy. He recently committed to Walsh University. Our second hitter, our second baseman, Kyle Moff, our 3-hitter, Quincy Mazik, going to Cincinnati, our 4-hitter, Mason Olbon. All 4 of those guys have kind of set the table for everybody else. I will say that there's some guys that have stepped up into some positions that maybe we weren't really expecting them to. Mason Olbon, he's our 4-hitter, DH, third baseman, first baseman, pitcher. He's done some great things for us at the plate, in the field, on the mound. He no-hit Louisville. Our 2 starting pitchers in the league are Ben Seibert, an Ashland University commit. He's done a phenomenal job for us since he's been a sophomore. Bryson Pepper, our lefty, just goes out and competes every single time. Those guys have some unreal stats when you look at it. Ben Seibert has 52 strikeouts compared to 11 walks in 45 and a third innings. Bryson Pepper has 57 strikeouts to 16 walks in 44 innings. I think the biggest surprise for us this year was a guy by the name of Will Douglas. He's our closer, per se, and it's weird to say that for high school baseball because we don't necessarily have that guy. But Will Douglas has had 15 appearances. He is 5-0, and he has 5 saves.
Oh, wow.
He's thrown 28 2/3 innings. He doesn't have the strikeout numbers, but the fact of the matter is he's 5-0 with 5 saves, and he's doing a phenomenal job of, finishing the game for us.
Well, you were, I was going to say, you were rattling off some pretty impressive numbers there with Seibert and Peffer, and I'm sure you got some other guys on your pitching staff. It sounds like you guys are throwing a lot of strikes and just getting the ball over the plate.
Yeah, our pitching coach, Nolan Sullivan, he's done an outstanding job with these guys. Just pound the zone, challenge hitters. If they get a hit and they beat us, so what? We just don't want to give up free bases. And those guys, again, Mason Olbon, like I said, he's not necessarily a Federal League guy, but Mason Olbon on his own accord has been 5-0 as well.
That is impressive, and I'm still trying to get over the numbers on Douglas, because you're right. In high school, it's, hey man, you're overjoyed if you got three guys, like three studs you can throw out there and pitch, and you don't really think about, like in the big leagues with middle relief, short relief, setup, and then a closer.
Right.
But if you got a guy like that, that's an incredible weapon to have.
Absolutely. He's a guy that in stature wise, he's not the scariest guy that you look at, but he keeps the ball down. He pounds the zone, and it seems like every time we throw him out there, he's getting ground balls and weak fly balls to the outfield. And our guys really have embraced the fact that when Will Douglas goes on the mound, our energy goes up. And it's nothing against our starters or the relievers that had to throw in between innings, the bridge guys, but Will Douglas has just been a phenomenal addition this year, and we're going to really miss him. And he's actually one appearance away from tying the single season GlenOak appearance record as a pitcher.
Wow, that is outstanding. Ray Frisbee is our guest. He is the head coach of the GlenOak Golden Eagle baseball team, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show today on 1310 WDPN. And don't forget, you can always watch and listen live on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. Coach, 26 games in, there had to have been, I don't know, maybe a handful or less of games where you thought to yourself, and maybe you talked to your staff and says, yeah, this is going to be a good team. We're going to have a nice year. A couple of games that really stand out that maybe that kind of crawled into your head a little bit?
No, that's a great question. I think that, Sam, I'm just going to start. The Federal League is the premier league in Northeast Ohio. We have to go in and week out against two quality starters from every team. And that helps us prepare for down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then we play other teams outside of our conference that are just, flat out good. I would say that, a win at Menor was a huge one after a rough week against Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we go up the field and we play them and we squeak out a win. Louisville, they've been gritty all year. And the fact that we had a pitcher go out that's not a Federal League starter and no hit him, that was huge. Honestly, I can't pinpoint one game. There's been games where we've just challenged our guys to go 1-0 every single day. And I think it summed it up in terms of the season when we played Waynedale, the Division 5 number one team right now, returning state champ, and we beat them 2-1 on our field on a walk-off hit. And it was one of the most fun games that I've ever coached because it was just solid baseball from inning 1 to inning 7, and there was not a blemish to the game whatsoever.
Yeah, you got to cherish those, right, Coach? Because when you can just sit there and watch a game and smile at the way the sport is being played, and you're kind of hovering over it, being the coach and trying to make things happen. There's nothing like it. I've always said, with a football analogy, I'll ask a coach, is there anything better than calling a play on the sideline? One of your players runs it into the quarterback. He calls it in the huddle. They execute it to a T, and you score a touchdown. There's nothing better than that.
Oh, absolutely. I coached football for a long time. I coached with Coach Garcia, before he resigned a few years ago. And I'm a former head football coach, and I appreciate that analogy because when you ask a kid to get a bunt down or ask a kid to do a hit and run or steal a base or go out there and throw a specific 0-2 pitch or 1-2 pitch, and they do it to a T, you're right. There's no better feeling to see your kids go out there and execute it. The biggest thing as a head coach is we prepare them day in and day out to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing better for me to have them go out there and do it because they're the ones doing it. It's not us as a coaching staff.
Head coach of the GlenOak baseball, Ray Frisbee, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. They are 22-4 overall. They are a very respectable 8-4 in a brutal Federal League. Hudson coming up, and then you get into the tournament. I want to take a couple of steps back here, Coach. The tradition of GlenOak baseball, and yeah, we talked about Smiling Joe, and you got those 2 state championships, one in Columbus, one in Toledo, all the talent on those teams. What does it mean for you to preside over the Golden Eagle baseball program with the history, the tradition, the great stadium you guys got over there, the support that you get? What's that mean to you?
Sam, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if there's another coach out there that appreciates their program maybe as much as my staff and I do. The fact that I'm the 3rd head coach for our storied program, the 2 guys that took over after Coach Gilhousen, Greg McClellan, had a fantastic career here as the head coach. I was fortunate to come back and coach for him. It's really tough to put into words. The fact that we had our 30-year reunion this year for the 95-96 state championship teams, I think our players came full circle, and they hear all the time about the tradition and the rich history. But, man, to see that in person, to have those guys come out on the field, to have our players be there, our green hats this year have 95, 96 on the back to honor them. It's been a huge plus for us. I really believe that Coach Gilhousen instilled a lot into the program, and all I can want to do is honor him, honor the rich tradition. We're coming up on 50 years next year of GlenOak baseball, and the fact that we can continue that tradition means the world to me, to honor Coach Gilhousen and the legacy that he left and all the players before us. There have been so many great players that have moved on and done great things. It's never about one person. It's always about the program, and the fact that we can honor those guys and continue that legacy means the world to me.
No doubt about it. Well, you certainly got it going on now. GlenOak will try to play Hudson tomorrow. It's at 6 o'clock as of right now. And then the 28th, you'll suit up against Lorraine in a tournament game. And always we wish you the best of luck there. Coach, before we let you go, it's a 3-question Thursday. Are you ready to take the quiz?
I'll try my best.
There are no wrong answers. Remember that. Question number 1. Who is your all-time favorite pro sports athlete?
I would have to say Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Like it. All right, here we go. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Don't Stop Believing.
All right. See, you're good at this, Coach. Don't ever sell yourself short. Question number 3. Coach Frisbee's hungry. He's looking to go get some ribs. Where are you going?
Oh, we're going ribs?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, I would say Damon's, but they're not here anymore.
They're long gone, yeah.
I would have to say I would like to go to the Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off.
I'll tell you what.
And sample everything.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll be looking for you over there this weekend if you can sneak over, all right?
All right.
We'll be out there. Coach Ray Frisbee just tearing it up with the GlenOak Golden Eagles on their way, hopefully, for a nice, long tournament run. Coach, I appreciate you coming on today. Hopefully you can get some baseball in tomorrow, and best of luck in the upcoming tournament coming up.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Ray Frisbee, the head baseball coach of the GlenOak Golden Eagles. And I'll tell you what, 22-4, 8-4 in the Federal League, playing some good ball, get some great pitching. They get some guys that can catch it, they can hit it, they can steal it, and they could make a little run. We'll keep our eyes on them. All right, 3:53 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll step out. We'll come back. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310 is the telephone number. We'll return on WDPN after this.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the program. I want to thank GlenOak Golden Eagles baseball coach Ray Frisbee for joining us here on the program. Coach just texted me, says, I hope I didn't screw that up too much. I said, you knocked it out of the park. Right? Did a great job. Thanks, Coach, for coming on, and go get him here in the upcoming tournament. Our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, who's your all-time favorite pro sports athlete? Question number 2, what is your go-to karaoke song? And question 3, best place in the area to go get ribs. What do you say? Give us a comment on Facebook page, on Twitter, on X, on TikTok. You can also call us at 330-821-1310 or text the show anytime. Real easy to do, 330-924-7088. Coming up at about 4:20 or so, we're going to talk to the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards. Dave Wertz is going to check in, and we'll see what he's got in store for the Leopard basketball program now. 5:15, we'll talk some Hoover Viking baseball with the head coach of the Vikings, and, of course, is Brian Ashby. All that coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Also, on this day in sports history coming up right around 5:30 this afternoon. Guardians and the Tigers still on for tonight. It's game 1 of a 4-game series. You better believe it. And you better at least get a split up there at Karaoke Park. Now, if you get swept, it's not the end of the world, but you would be a full 10 games out in the division. So do the math, compute the numbers. You need to get out of there with at least a split. If you could get 3 out of 4, awesome. If you get swept, 6:40 first pitch tonight. Tanner Bybee on the mound and John Flaherty on the mound for Detroit. Tomorrow, it's a 7:10 first pitch. Saturday is a 7:15 first pitch. I believe that's a Fox game. I think that might be nationally televised on Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon they have, boy, you haven't lived until you've got an 11:35 first pitch on a Sunday morning. Now, let me scroll down here. That's got to be MLB Network, Peacock. What is that? Oh, it's a Roku game. Oh, nice. How nice of Major League Baseball on a holiday weekend, the day before Labor Day. Let's put the first place Tigers on against a pretty good Guardians team, and let's put it on Roku. Let's put it on Roku. Nice job, Manfred. Every time, I was all excited a week ago. I said, okay, Manfred, you're okay. He took that lifetime ban off of Shoeless Joe and Pete Rose for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I was like giving him all his flowers, right? Now you're putting a Memorial Day weekend Major League Baseball game on at 11:35 in the morning, and now folks are going to have to go hunt for it because it's on Roku. Well, Sam, I know what Roku is. I know the Fire. I know the app. I know the Fire Stick. I know all that. But what's the matter with just putting it on the regional network or MLB network or even Peacock or Prime or something? No, they're going Roku. So, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, well, let's go, Guardians. Let's go. Let's get a sweep this weekend in Detroit. Tanner Bybee looking for his fourth win tonight in Motown. We'll take a break. The news and the weather and another wet forecast is all coming your way here on 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In San Diego, at least 2 people are dead after a plane crashed into a military housing complex today. The Cessna was not far from the airport. Officials say fire damaged cars and homes. 8 others were injured. San Diego Assistant Fire Chief Dan Eddy.
Some of the injuries were people that were on the ground. All the injuries that we treated were people that were treated at the evacuation center. There was no one transported from scene.
Eddy says it's unclear how many people were on board the plane, and the cause is under investigation. The NTSB also on scene. A suspect is in custody, investigators say, responsible for the double murder of 2 Israeli embassy staffers last night, shot and killed outside an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. President Trump condemned those killings. A Brooklyn federal jury today convicting Svetlana Dali of stowing away on a New York Delta flight to Paris. Dali testified in her own defense, telling jurors she did not have a boarding pass when she walked onto that flight. Dali still faces sentencing. This is ABC News.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, this sale is going on now. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earth Grow Mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle Grow Garden Soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. One person is dead following a 2-vehicle crash in Jackson Township this morning. Police responded to Wales Avenue and Strasser Street Northwest around 10:45. Officials say 3 people were involved in the wreck. 1 was treated and released at the scene, while another was transported to Mercy Hospital. Police have not released the name of the person who died. An investigation continues. The treasurer of the Carrollton Exempted Village School District has pleaded not guilty to charges of taking money from her employer. 50-year-old Amy Spears of Carrollton entered a written plea today in Carroll County Common Pleas Police Court to charges of theft in office and tampering with records. She was indicted earlier this month. Spears was placed on paid leave last month. The Board of Education placed her on unpaid leave May 13th and agreed to consider firing her. Spears allegedly took more than $27,000 in district funds over 2 years, starting in October 2022. Investigators say Spears created fraudulent Ashland University student account statements and reimbursement documents. The Stokey Interfaith Child Development Center in Alliance told families last week it would not be providing child care services this summer. The facility is facing allegations of child abuse involving employees from 2 families which have combined to file a lawsuit in Stark County Common Pleas Court. The center says it will reopen at an unspecified date with a new leadership team and will bring new programs, policy updates, and streamlined communication. The facility will also undergo a deep cleaning during the summer. The center opened in 1968. The closure is effective May 30th. A pedestrian struck by a North Canton City vehicle has died. The Canton Regional Crash Team is investigating the April 29th incident at the intersection of 7th Street Northeast and North Main Street. A preliminary investigation shows the vehicle was westbound on 7th and making a left turn onto North Main when it struck 78-year-old Joanne Smith. She was transported to a local hospital, then transferred to another facility for additional treatment. She died last Sunday at Altman Compassionate Care Center in Jackson Township. The Lake Local Board of Education is scheduled to meet for a special session Saturday to hire a new superintendent. They're expected to name Brett Yeagley, who is superintendent of the Canton Local School District. He has led the system since 2021. Yeagley is a graduate of Malone University, the American College of Education, and Concordia University. He would succeed Kevin Tobin, who plans to retire August 1st. A Lisbon man has made an initial court appearance following his arrest by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. 42-year-old John McFarland was arraigned today in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He's charged with pandering obscenity and drug paraphernalia. Authorities reportedly found McFarland in possession of several videos showing children being sexually assaulted or engaging in sexual activity Wednesday. He's also accused of emailing 9 videos depicting minors taking part in sex acts May 5th. McFarland allegedly sent a video showing a male juvenile engaged in sexual conduct through social media in October 2022. He's a substitute teacher for the Columbiana County Educational Service Center. McFarland is suspended. The parties in a lawsuit involving the 2023 East Palestine train derailment have reached a settlement. Michigan-based insurance company California Casualty Indemnity Exchange sued Norfolk Southern in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court earlier this year. They sought reimbursement for about $26,000 paid to the owner of a West Grant Street property for alleged damages caused by the derailment. The amount was what California Casualty paid out for repairs to the home and replacement, repairs, or destruction of personal property. Terms of the settlement were not disclosed. The case was dismissed with prejudice. A Mahoning County judge has released a Youngstown man sentenced to prison for a shooting. 57-year-old Charles Berger Jr. was sentenced in Common Pleas Court in August 2021 to 5 to 6 years. The release by Judge John Durkin is effective immediately. Berger would have been eligible for parole in 11 months. He pleaded guilty to felonious assault and a weapons charge stemming from a May 2020 incident at a Cassius Avenue address. According to prosecutors, Berger shot a woman during a domestic dispute. She recovered from her injuries. A Toledo man has been sentenced to 4 to 6 years in prison for a November 15th assault at an Austintown business. 32-year-old Nathaniel Freibarger was handed the punishment Wednesday by Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Anthony D'Onofrio. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of kidnapping, as well as 1 count each of felonious assault and aggravated robbery. Freibarger pulled a knife on a man at a Mahoning Avenue address and demanded money and a PIN number after the victim said he wasn't carrying cash. He then told the man to take off his socks and shoes so he could sniff his feet, which the man complied with. Freibarger then pushed him into a bathroom stall and cut his hand. The victim sustained minor injuries. Unrelated shootings in Warren that left 2 people dead are the focus of ongoing investigations. Police identified the victims today. Officers responding to a 911 call about a killing Monday found 38-year-old Norman Miller dead in a pickup near West Market Street and Southern Boulevard. On May 16th, 22-year-old Jody Hall was discovered dead in a vehicle on its side near the Fairview Gardens apartments. Officers had been called to the area about gunshots. It's 52 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the rest of your Thursday afternoon, showers and a high reaching 54. Showers likely for the overnight, otherwise cloudy, cool, a low around 45. Can't rule out some afternoon showers Friday, cloudy and a high near 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal a three for the win. And goal! He got it! And he tried to give your choke sign to the Knicks. And the game's not over. Wow. Picked up by Nimhard. Down by 3. Here is a 3 for the tie. Short. Caught by Hart. Out to Towns. To tie. No. Rebound. Fought for. Loose. Bridges has got it. Clock is ticking. Out of bounds. It's Indiana's ball with .2 to go.
In the ninth.
2 outs. Twins down to their final out. It's Harrison Bader.
Off the end of the bat, didn't get much of it. Kwan has a routine play. Book it. The Guardians earn a split in the rain-shortened 2-game series here in Minneapolis as they win today by a final score of 5-1.
All right, that's our buddy Matt Underwood on Cleveland Guardians TV, NBA audio, courtesy of TNT. Well, what a night last night. Pacers and Knicks. I know, our Cavs aren't playing. I know. Sucks. But that was really good basketball last night. Really was. 138-135 in overtime at the Garden. And the Pacers win it. They come back from 19 down. They take a 1-0 lead in that best-of-7 series. Welcome back, everybody, to the Sam Bourquin Show. We are puddling along. See what I did there? 1310 WDPN, the rain still coming down. Not as hard as it has been for the day. And we're all hoping that it kind of goes away. Just go away. Vamoose, scram, beat it. Hit the road. No more. Our grass is nice and thick and green enough. We don't need any more water right now. hopefully it will clear up and we'll have a lot of great weather for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off is coming up here this weekend, beginning Friday and goes through Sunday night over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll be telling you more about that throughout the show today and tomorrow. We make sure you check that out and come on out and see us this weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off. I'm excited. I'm excited to try some ribs, some brisket, some fries with about a half a ton of salt and some vinegar on there. What else? Oh, corn dog. Got to have some lemonade. Oh, probably a sausage sandwich. Probably an elephant ear. What else can I shove in my face? I'll figure it out.
Oh, a funnel cake.
Funnel cake? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was taking my son to school this morning and got to get on 77 to get off at Tusk. And when I was dropping him off at school this morning, it was really bad weather. It was tough. And there was people over at the Hall of Fame on the grounds. Some of the food trucks were starting to set up and they were putting some signage up and doing different things to get ready for the big event. And I'm like, man, I would not want to be out there right now. Because when we left for school this morning, it was about 47 and a steady rain and just a little bit of a wind. And they're out there working hard. So kudos to the crew over there. And come on out to the Ribs Burn-Off at the Hall of Fame this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Big fireworks display, by the way, Sunday night about 9:30 if you're looking for something to do. Because, I shouldn't say nobody. Most folks will not be working on Monday. So you can stay out a little bit late on Sunday. Come on over to the Hall of Fame and check out the big fireworks display on Sunday night. It is a 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, what's your all-time favorite pro athlete? Who's your favorite pro sports athlete of all time? Question number 2, what is your go-to karaoke song? What's your go-to karaoke song? Got to be some classics out there, I'd imagine. And question number 3 is in the area, your go-to place to go get some ribs. Where are you going? 330-821-1310. Just a reminder, we've got the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards coming up, David Wertz, in about 4:20. So in a couple of minutes, we'll be talking to Coach Wertz and see what he has in store for the Louisville Leopard basketball program coming up here in just a few minutes. On the Facebook, 3-question Thursday quiz. Scott says his favorite player is Chet Holmgren. His go-to karaoke song. He's got way too many unforgettable favorites. And he says he doesn't eat ribs, so he'll pass on that. Mike Kane, Big Daddy, hope you're well. His favorite sports athlete, Joe Montana. His go-to karaoke song, Luck Be a Lady. And he says best ribs around at his house on the Mike Kane Fantastic Smoker. Matt Kirkbride, hope all is well in the halls of Perry High School. Matty, his favorite athlete is Barry Sanders. His go-to karaoke is The Dance. And his favorite place to get ribs, Jimmy's Backyard Barbecue. George Arrett checking in with us. Joe Montana, his favorite sports athlete. Let's see here. His go-to karaoke song, Minnie the Moocher. Cab Calloway. His favorite place to get ribs, Mulligan's Pub over there in Belden Village area. I remember that. Remember those days. Pam says Omar Vizquel is her favorite sports athlete. Karaoke is You Can Do Magic by America. Well, that's a good one. And her favorite place to go get ribs, Omaha Bob's over in Worcester. Keep the comments coming. Love them. 330-821-1310, or you can text them in at 330-924-708. Today's 3-question Thursday quiz. And again, we'll be checking in with the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards here in about 90 seconds or so. And that would be Dave Wertz. So we're looking forward to that. And don't forget, Hoover baseball fans, we got you covered today as well. Head baseball coach at North Canton Hoover, Brian Ashby, will be coming up at around 5:15 this afternoon. Also, on this day in history at 5:30, we got some good audio for you today. LeBron, Mark Pryor, and Barry Bonds made the audio cut today on this day in sports history. All right, let's go. I wanted to check. Let me see if I can do this real quick before we get Coach on. I wanted to check the weather in Detroit, because it seemed to me the last time that I looked, Detroit, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, all was in this same goofy weather system. And I'm just trying to check out and see what it's going to be in Detroit, because you certainly don't want to get backed up with baseball there. You've already had to do some messing around with your schedule because of all the rain in Minneapolis. Let's see here. Detroit. Okay, we're good. No rain at all in Detroit this weekend. Well, I take that. I'm sorry. I take that back. Tonight, showers and a low of 43. Friday, 58 and dry. Saturday, 63 and dry. Sunday, 67 and dry. So it looks like we'll be able to get all those baseball games in. Guardians and Tigers at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. So we are certainly looking forward to that. By the way, I want to thank Coach Ray Frisbee of the GlenOak Golden Eagles for joining us here earlier in the program. Folks, I'm trying to do 5 things at once right now, so bear with me. I'm actually texting Coach Wertz. He is waiting on our phone call, and we're trying to get him hooked up here for the show. And hopefully we have the right number. I know I've given you the right number. If not, I've got it right here. If this will help you out here. Hey, is this David? There we go. We got him. Hello? No, maybe we don't. No, you're good. You're good. Okay, we do. Holy smokes. All right, we're going to talk some Louisville basketball here coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't forget the Fill in the Blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show tomorrow. We'll be with you at 3 o'clock all the way until 6. And getting you ready for the big Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn-off, which is coming up tomorrow at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It'll run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And don't forget about the big fireworks display at the Hall of Fame Sunday night, right around 9:30. Great food, great drinks, great entertainment. It's all happening at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn-off beginning tomorrow at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All right, we got our guy. Let's talk a little Louisville basketball right now on this Thursday afternoon. David Wertz, the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards, joining us here on 1310 WDPN and the Sam Bourquin Show. Coach Wertz, good afternoon. Congratulations. How you doing this afternoon?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Good. Hey, what's it like now to move down on the bench a couple of spots and be the guy in charge? How's that feeling?
It's feeling great. I made the joke that I was doing handshakes last year, these last 2 years, and the handshakes are going to be a little bit different compared to opposing teams and congratulating them and everything like that. But I'm excited and I'm ready to go. It
certainly sounds like you are ready. And of course, what a fantastic run the Leopards basketball team has had here. Not just the last couple years, but I mean, almost a decade now, but really the last couple of years, and culminating with that state championship last year down in Dayton, which was just a great day for Louisville basketball. And I guess, what was that like for you as then an assistant and now the guy in charge? But what was it like for you to watch, Coach Siegfried, your staff, your tremendous players, the Louisville community? It all came together for you, didn't it?
Absolutely. And I think it was just a great learning experience for not only the players, but also us as coaches. We did bring a lot of the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors. They were all there. Those guys who are going to be on that varsity floor next year. And just getting to be a part of the atmosphere, the intensity, and just being able to compete on a level like that, I think it's going to do wonders for us in the future.
David Wertz is our guest, the new head boys basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Don't forget you can listen to watch right now on the Q92 Radio Facebook page, X page, and YouTube channel. So, taking over now as a coach, philosophical-wise, how do you approach now as being the guy in charge? Because everything obviously has been working really, really well. But as a coach, you always want to put your stamp on things, don't you?
Absolutely. I got asked the question in the interview, what do you want to change in terms of the offense or defense? And I answered it with a chuckle. It's kind of hard to answer that after we come off the state championship. You don't want to make too much changes, but absolutely. I think the program in terms of 2007 to 2025, very successful. And that's Siegfried's legacy. And I'd say he did a pretty darn good job at that. But I do want to have my own stamp on this. I do want to have my own legacy at the end of the day. And as much as I learned from Coach Siegfried and some other coaches in the past, Coach Taylor, Coach Toth, Coach Spurgeon, that I've had the opportunity of playing under or coaching with, at the end of the day, I do want to be my own coach. And, like you said, put my own stamp on this. So
I got to ask you, as I'll try to bring this thing full circle by the time we're done, but take us back, Coach. When did you get involved in basketball? When did you start to have that love for the sport? And when did it occur to you that, as a player or a coach or whatever, this was gonna lead you down a path?
I think just growing up, when I was 2-3 years old, being able to go to Jackson basketball games where my dad was the head JV coach, had the opportunity of coaching some legends like Jamie Bosley and guys like that. And then just growing up around, coaches and seeing them interact with their coaches and not just build a relationship in terms of coaching, but a friendship and a brotherhood, honestly. And in terms of playing, I've always loved the game of basketball. I had my dad coach me in the youth for, as long as I could up until about middle school. Then I had Coach Danny Edwards, Coach Corey Berquin. Freshman year, moved up, had Coach Mike Myers for 2 years under Coach Randulik as the head coach. And then my sophomore year, it transitioned into Coach Chad Spurgeon, Coach Rob Toth, Coach Vic, Coach Joe Moriarty, who's actually over at Fairless now. And I think my love for the game, it's always been there. But in terms of coaching, as soon as I graduated high school, I wanted to be an educator. And being an educator gives you a great opportunity to be in the schools and work with kids, not only on the basketball court, but, growing them into young men. And right out of high school, I joined my dad coaching at Jackson Middle School in the 7th grade. Our first class graduated, and it was actually Coach Fueline over at Mount Union's son. Anthony Fueline was our first class there. Kyle Monterubio, we had the chance of coaching. So it's great to see these kids graduating, getting into their lives outside of simply, high school and Jackson, and same thing here at Louisville. Came over here after getting my degree. I did my student teaching here. Loved the atmosphere. That was after their regional run. And I absolutely wanted to be a part of the program. And I've got to learn so much these last 7 years, coaching at Jackson with Coach DeBevick, coaching at Louisville with Coach Siegfried, and all the assistants in between. I've learned a lot. And I think I always had that itch to be a coach. And then these last probably 3 years, especially being able to learn under Coach Siegfried, I've really had a desire to take the reins myself, be a head coach, lead a program. I do live in the community. I am young, yes, but I'm not married and I don't have kids yet. So I want to make sure I can take full advantage of being a young guy, but also having the time that it takes to commit in order to build a successful program, or in our case, luckily, keep a successful program going.
Coach, you mentioned being young, and when I hear that term, excuse me, and I think about that with college coaches and even some NBA coaches, first thing I think about is the relatability to the players. That's got to be something in your favor, right?
Absolutely. I think that's actually my biggest strength. I got into coaching, a big reason because, I wanted kids to stay in love with the game of basketball. It's very easy for coaches to get fixated on wins and fixated on following through on everything. And sometimes they forget the most important thing is building relationships with these young men. And I would say that's absolutely my biggest strength. I've had the opportunity of coaching this coming up to be senior class for the last 3 years. So the group I came in with, and I'm glad that I'm going to be the coach that they're leaving with. Relationships to me is second to none. I love these kids. I love being able to build relationships with them, being relatable, understanding that not too long ago I was in their shoes, and you know, I was getting yelled at, and I was getting, you know, coaches were getting into me. But in the same token, you can take a step away from that, especially when you've had some years out of high school in terms of your playing career, and you realize those coaches were trying to get me better. They had confidence in me, and you realize that coaches you thought were hard on you were actually just simply trying to make you a better young man. So that's something I want to make sure I continue with these guys. Make sure they enjoy it, make sure they have fun, and then ultimately at the end of the day, make sure that we're competing at the highest level in order to give these guys something to remember. So.
Sounds like a plan. David Wertz is our guest, the new head boys basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. And I know a lot of coaches, when they first, like you were talking about your interview and maybe some other media folks that will be catching up with you, they're going to say, well, what kind of style do you want? Do you want to run up and down? Do you want to get in their face? Do you want to press 94 feet? You can think about that till you're blue in the face, but until you know who you're going to have and you start putting the pieces together. But let's just say in a perfect world, you got a roster of 12 or 13 guys, and you know what they can all do offensively, defensively. What is your philosophy? What would you like to do when you get out there on the floor?
I'd like to keep things the same as we did last year in JV. I'm going to have all the same guys, maybe some guys coming back. And we went 15-2 this last year, and we faced a lot of the same competition as the varsity did. I absolutely know we can keep that fast game style in terms of we're going to try to push the pace. And then on defense, we're going to get after it. We might not necessarily have a 6'7" Braden Gross out there, but I do like the guys that I have. And last year they understood I have the utmost confidence in this group of young men to be able to battle against anyone. So I'm not necessarily trying to change anything in terms of fast pace and playing a brand of basketball that the community of Louisville can be proud of. In that same token, though, kind of back to that original question, I do want to put my own stamp on this. There will be some things that I add. I don't want to give too much away yet, especially as a young coach. I got to keep as many tricks in the bag as I can right now. But we're definitely going to be getting after it and trying to pick up the pace. I don't necessarily know if we're going to be able to put up, the 115-point games that this senior class was able to do, but if we can hold it down on the defensive end and transition defense into offense, I think we'll be just fine, even with a little bit younger group of kids. So,
hey, I think if you get to 75 or 80, you'll be fine, Coach. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys can get after it. All right, I know you got to go, but I want to squeeze it real quick. We got our 3-question Thursday quiz. Are you ready to go?
All right, let's see it.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Coach Wertz, who's your all-time favorite pro sports athlete?
All-time favorite pro sports athlete. I'm going to go with Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Great choice. Question number 2. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke song. Oh man, that's a really good one. Oh man, that's a tricky one. I'm gonna go "All of Me" by John Legend, man. That's something I used to rock out in middle school. I haven't lost that one. So
I'm gonna tell you what, you are so lucky. We're up against the time. I would have you sing about 3 or 4 lines from that song, but I don't have time for it right now. Question number 3: when you're ready to go get some ribs, what's the best place for you to go get them?
Ribs. I'll give my girlfriend's mom credit. Myrtle Ingledinger, she does a very good job of making her ribs. So I'd actually say my girlfriend's mom. So
hey, good answer.
Trying to build some brownie points with that one too. So.
Good, you're killing all the birds today with all the stones. You're doing a great job, Coach. I appreciate you coming on. I know you're extremely busy today. David Wertz, the new head coach of the Louisville Leopards. Coach, thanks for coming on. Enjoy, all the best, and we'll see you during basketball season. All right.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm still getting used to the head coach title in terms of that ring, but I will say it definitely sounds good. So I appreciate you guys for giving me a call.
You got it. Coach, best of luck. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
There he goes. David Wertz, the new head coach of the Louisville Leopards. We got to get to the news and weather. Stay with us.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. First responders and the NTSB are assessing damage today after a Cessna airplane crashed into a dense residential neighborhood in San Diego. The aircraft was not that far from the airport, and officials say the crash created a fire that damaged homes and cars. At least 2 people died and 8 were injured, but San Diego Assistant Fire Chief Dan Eddy says it's unclear how many people were on board the plane.
Some of the injuries were people that were on the ground. All the injuries that we treated were people that were treated at the evacuation center. There was no one transported from scene.
Authorities say the crash occurred during foggy weather. 2 people are dead, a young couple who was planning on getting married after a shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington. Law enforcement officials say the suspect opened fire at an event for young Jewish diplomats, and the couple who died were staff at the Israeli embassy. ABC's Jack Date says the suspect did not have a criminal record, but was known for taking part in pro-Palestinian protests.
Authorities are telling us he was known to police in Chicago, but not for violence. He was known to be somebody who participated in demonstration activities, and so they were familiar with him in that sense, but not in a criminal sense.
Authorities in Chicago are searching a home linked to the suspected gunman. Kid Cudi has wrapped up his testimony in the New York sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The rapper and actor answered questions today about his brief relationship 14 years ago with Combs' ex-girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie. After Cudi's testimony, a makeup artist who worked with both Combs and Cassie took the stand. Prosecutors accused the hip-hop mogul of using his fame and fortune to orchestrate an empire of exploitation of women. Combs' lawyers acknowledged he could be violent, but argue that all the sex was consensual and never veered into sex trafficking or racketeering. The U.S. Mint has made its final order of penny blanks and plans to stop producing the coin when those run out. That word comes from a Treasury Department official who wasn't authorized to discuss the matter publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity to preview the news. An immediate annual savings of $56 million in reduced material costs is expected by stopping penny production. In February, President Trump announced that he had ordered his administration to cease production of the 1-cent coin. The Treasury says there are about 114 billion pennies currently in circulation in the United States. That's $1.14 billion, but they're greatly underutilized. It's 52 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For what's left of your Thursday afternoon, rain and a high of 54. Showers likely tonight, otherwise cloudy and cool, a low of 45. A chance for afternoon showers Friday, cloudy and a high reaching 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills or level up in your current field, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We'll take care of your training costs so you can focus on building the skills you need for a brighter future in fields such as healthcare or skilled trades. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to be with you on this Thursday afternoon. It is a 3-question Thursday on 1310 WDPN. Lots of folks watching and listening right now because we can tell who's watching and listening. We can see you. We are watching your... No, I'm just kidding. You can watch us on the Q92 Radio Facebook page, X page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. You can listen here at 1310 WDPN. Go old school radio. There's still nothing like it. There's nothing like the old school radio. And you can listen to us on the WDPN stream on the WDPN Facebook page and 1310 WDPN on X or Twitter. It is a 3-question Thursday quiz. We're going to get to some of your comments, but I understand, Mr. Rainsburg, we've got a couple of comments over there.
Yeah, we've got Buck from Louisville back again saying he's in Vegas today, and it's a sunny 100 degrees, and his cocktails are nice and cold after a good day of golf. So he's out there rubbing it in a little bit for us.
Thanks, Buck. Thanks, buddy.
He also answered the 3 questions with 1, Bob Euchre, 2, any song by any of Eddie Gauch's songs, and 3, Boot Smoke. He said that is the house on the corner of South St. at Nickel Plate.
What is
South
it?
Street. Why did I say St.?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what is it? Boot Smoke?
Boots Smoke.
Boots Smoke. Why do I not know where that's at?
I gotta admit that title gives me confidence.
It kind of makes you want to go there.
That's a good title.
I mean, if you're talking ribs and your place is called Boot Smoke,
that's a good name for a smoke joint.
Yeah. Well, Buck, I hope you're doing well in Vegas. 100 degrees and the drinks are cold. Boy, what a...
Yeah, that sounds nice.
3-question Thursday quiz. Here we go. Question number 1. Where did I leave off at? I think I left off with... Where did I go? Eric. Yeah, Eric Harkins. Eric, hope you are well. Michael Jordan, his favorite pro athlete of all time. His go-to karaoke song, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Another one for Old Carolina. That's where he goes to get his ribs. Joe Volpe says Dick Butkus, his favorite athlete. His karaoke song, Take This Job and Shove It. And his smoker is where he goes to get the best ribs. Kim checking in down in Texas. She says Martina Navratilova is her favorite pro athlete. Love Shack is her go-to karaoke song. And she says down here in Texas, an outdoor barbecue place. Love Shack. Oh, I'm sorry. Love Shack is the name of the rib place she goes to down in Texas. Although that could be the karaoke song, too. Remember the B-52s had Love Shack back in the day? Doug says, favorite pro sports athlete. If it's not Sam Bourquin, Reggie Dunlop of the Charlestown Chiefs or Wayne Gretzky. His go-to karaoke song. I can't even read that. Adam's rib. Oh, my God. Doug, stop. Ryan Brayler, checking in. Hope you're doing well, partner. Michael Jordan, his favorite pro sports athlete. His go-to karaoke song, Carrying Your Love with Me by George Strait. His go-to place for ribs is McDonald's for the McRib. Smiley face. No. He says, I'm an old Carolina guy. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. All right. While I've got you here, Rainsburg, and obviously we're not going to let you go until 6 o'clock today.
No.
Let's have you answer the 3-question quiz before we go back and pick up some really cool moments from that Pacer win last night. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Who's your favorite all-time pro sports athlete?
I've been thinking about this, and I don't know many professional sports athletes, but from my days playing NBA 2K, I do have a soft spot for Antetokounmpo. So
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis is an incredible basketball player. So
all right, you can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong there. All right, Rainsburg, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Anything by Mumford and Sons. Probably Winter Winds. It really fits into my vocal range.
Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
I know one song.
I bet you do.
And it's not Winter of Winds.
No, that's a very good song.
What is the one that I think that I should know? Hold On or something?
Might be the yeah. Which one is that?
Which one is that, Mumford and Sons?
Oh, it's gonna bother me.
I can't say I'm a big fan. I just don't remember the name of that one song.
No, that's not one of the ones I usually listen to.
Wow. All right. Well, I screwed that one up.
I'll have to figure that out. I'll think of it.
For ribs, Ryan Rainsburg, best place to go. Where are you going?
I would make my ribs at home for sure.
Oh, okay.
That would be the best way to do it. But hot take in relation to the other person's comment, the McRib does not count as ribs. Just want to make that very clear.
That's not meat.
No, it is not.
It is not meat.
It might have been meat at some point, but not anymore.
It's maybe a meat byproduct of something.
I'm sure plenty of people would agree with me that you can't have ribs without bones, and that disqualifies it right there.
It's so funny to me that every year you think that it's not going to come back, they bring it back.
They can't get rid of it.
They bring it back, and then they'll put in the parentheses and hit in fine print for a limited time only.
Oh, that's the scam.
And
that's
it's going to come back in a year, or sometimes they let it go for like 2 years, and then they create this big, everybody wants it back, and it's back, and before you know it, it's gone. I mean, good grief. All right, NBA hoops last night. What theater at Madison Square Garden last night? I really hope you got to watch it. I know a lot of people said on the NBA after the Cavaliers went out, but the Pacers-Knicks of Madison Square Garden last night, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, was a game for the ages. 138-135, Indiana wins it. Folks, they haven't met a deficit they didn't think that they could come back and win from. And they did it again last night. And they had to put some baskets together. That Pacers scoring montage that turned the trick last night under the bright lights of New York City.
Neesmith hits the three.
Also, if you would have told me with Brunson, another three by Neesmith, that's the great equalizer in our game.
New York is 11-29, shooting threes, about 38%. Halliburton, his three is good.
But again,
Halliburton with 27 the other way with a screen from Shepard. He'll roll and he'll find the defensive height. Neesmith three, good, got it.
And I'm surprised they don't have Miles Turner. Rim protector on the floor as well.
Neesmith three, good, another one from outside. Neesmith again, three, got it! He's a flamethrower.
It's a dead ball on the side. I don't know what the controversy there was.
Neesmith, it's a three. It's a 2-point game.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a 2-point game with 22 seconds to go. Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal a three for the win. And no! He got it!
Unbelievable. Now, that was not a 3, it was a 2. They had to go back and look at it. It went overtime, and the Pacers won the game. Unbelievable last night. The New York Knicks have to be sick. They have to be absolutely sick to their stomach. They coughed up that lead last night at home. Here's Indiana coach Rick Carlisle after the game last night. Pacers a winner in Game 1 at the Garden.
It's an emotional thing. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, we got to go out there. It's the place is unlikely to be any louder than it was tonight. I mean, it was crazy out there. And the environment, it never disappoints here. It never disappoints here. I mean, at this time of year, you want to go into the most hostile, the most difficult environments and test your mettle, and go against Brunson and Cat and Bridges and these guys. I mean, this is a difficult time of the year. So it's not a big deal to me. Tyrese is earning the right to do whatever he wants.
How about that? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We were down almost 20 at the Garden. It's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks, their fans are going crazy. We'll come back in dramatic fashion. We'll tie the game with a 3, and we'll beat them in overtime. Not a big deal. But you know what, though? That's the right mindset to have, because guess what? One game, you haven't won anything. You got to win 4. But, man, the way they came back and won that game last night, I didn't have them counted out, but I was wavering a little bit when it was 17-point lead, and Carlisle did call that one timeout, and they went to break, and you could almost feel Madison Square Garden coming through your television set. You could feel it. And I'm like, man, I don't even know if the Indiana Pacers can come back from this. And 3 here, 3 there. 3, boom. And then the Knicks were on their heels. And then you could tell, you could feel in the arena, again, you could feel it, that there was the, oh no. And I swear to you, if I was in the arena last night, wherever, I bet I could hear people yelling or whispering to the people, remind them, they did the same thing to the Cavs. They did the same thing to the Cavs. We're in trouble. They're doing it again. Hey, Johnny, they're doing it again. I could hear the people in New York doing that. They did it again. They did do it again. And as I said in the first hour today, this could be one of those teams. I'm talking a team of destiny, a team from Indianapolis could go win the whole thing, the NBA title. Now, if they would happen to get by the Knicks, and I think that they will, might take them 5 or 6, but I think they'll get there, then you're going to have to probably play the team who's been the best all season long, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what? I bet the people in the NBA, where's the offices, Secaucus, New Jersey? I bet they are literally crapping their pants with the thought of small market Oklahoma City and small market Indiana being in the NBA Finals. I bet you they are literally throwing up all over their 3-piece suits with the thought of that. I think it would be fantastic. Not to shove it to the suits, but because I think that would be the most entertaining series, would be Oklahoma City and Indiana. Just the way that they play. You know both teams are going to go 150 miles an hour. Now, they're going to play defense. They're going to be tough. They're going to crash the glass. But those two teams are going to get up and down, and they're going to score. Vegas might not be able to make those totals high enough. You might see 245, 250, 260 if those teams are playing in the NBA Finals. What a great game last night. I hope you got to watch it. I almost forgot about it. I really did. I almost forgot about it because I didn't have the TV on because the Guardians were already done by the time that I got home. And I'm going, oh, Wednesday night. And I almost forgot about it. Then it was about 9:50, 10 o'clock. I think I got on my phone. And oh my God, I forgot I went downstairs and I popped it on and I didn't move. I didn't move until the game was over in overtime. And I watched a little bit of course, you got to watch Inside the NBA with Ernie and Chuck and the guys. And then that was it. But I hope you get a chance to watch that game last night because it was fantastic. It really was. Wish the Cavs were playing, though. I can't lie. A couple of times during the game last night, I'm thinking, that could be us. That could be us at the Garden playing the Knicks. And Spida could be going off for 45. And I was like, you know what? I don't even want to think about that right now. I'll go out of my mind. Game 2 tonight, Oklahoma City, Minnesota. That's around the 8:30, 9 o'clock tip tonight. And I believe that ball game is on ESPN. All right, we got about 6 minutes till the top of the hour. 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-924-7088. We'll be back on 1310 WDPN. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a 3-Question Thursday.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids.
I can dance.
I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, welcome back. Lickety split. We got about 4 minutes until we get you to the top of the hour. All of your local news and your weather forecast is coming up here at 5 o'clock. Don't forget, North Canton Hoover baseball fans, Stark County fans, we're going to be talking to my guy, Brian Ashby, the head coach of the North Canton Hoover baseball team at 5:15 this afternoon. So that's in about 20 minutes here on 1310 WDPN. Thanks to GlenOak Golden Eagle baseball coach Ray Frisbee for joining us earlier in the show, and the new head coach of the Louisville Leopards, David Wertz. Thanks to Coach Wertz for coming on today and talking about his new gig over in Louisville. Also, about 5:30 today, we'll have On This Day in Sports History. That's one of the things we really love doing here on the program. And, of course, it's a Thursday, so that means it's a 3-question Thursday quiz. Question number 1, what's your all-time, I keep saying what, who is your all-time favorite sports athlete? Question 2, what's your go-to karaoke song? And question number 3, best place in the area to go get ribs. Hey, I got a great place for you this weekend. The Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn-Off, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Hall of Fame. Come check it out, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we'll tell you more about that next hour, and we'll really talk that up for you tomorrow. Don't forget, Sunday night about 9:30, big, gigantic fireworks display. So that's all part of the fun, the great food, the music, the drinks, the inflatables. It's going to be the place to be. And the weather's going to break. The rain's going to be out of here. I think it's going to be perfect for a ribs burn-off. I mean, I know we're dying to see the sun, but you don't want it to be 96 degrees and humid for a ribs burn. You just don't.
No, that'd be miserable.
Because I've done that. I know people that have done it. I've worked them. We had a caller call in. I forget who it was now. It might have been one of our coaches. And he said, well, his favorite place to go get ribs was Damon's, which is no longer around.
Yes, Damon's.
Well, I worked there from 93 to 98. And I worked a couple of ribs burn-offs. And it was disgustingly hot. So I think the weather for this weekend is going to be perfect for the ribs burn-off over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hope to see you over there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, the news and weather coming up here at the top of the hour. Don't forget Hoover Baseball Talk with Brian Ashby at 5:15. And we got some other good stuff coming your way here on a 3-question Thursday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. Only on 1310 WDPN and streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. One man is in custody after authorities say he shot and killed 2 Israeli embassy staffers as they left the Capitol Jewish Museum last night. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, the highest-ranking Jewish elected official in the U.S., spoke on the Senate floor today.
Such a blatant and targeted act of anti-Semitism right here in the nation's capital should outrage everybody.
The FBI now focusing on the suspect's online posts, apparently against the Israel-Hamas war. Those murders also raising questions about security amid heightened threats due to the war. In California, at least 2 people are dead after a plane crashed into a military housing unit in a San Diego neighborhood earlier today. Authorities say no one on the ground was killed, but 8 others were injured. A federal judge in Boston blocking the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle the education department, saying only an act of Congress can close an agency. On Wall Street, stocks ending mixed for the day. This is ABC News.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, this sale is going on now. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Jackson Township Police are investigating a fatal 2-vehicle crash that happened around 10:45 this morning at Wales Avenue and Strasser Street Northwest. Police say the wreck involved 3 people. 1 was taken to Mercy Hospital. Another was treated and released at the scene. The name of the person who died has not been released. The Carrollton Exempted Village Board of Education has placed Treasurer Amy Spears on unpaid leave. The board took the action May 13th and agreed to consider firing her. The 50-year-old Spears was placed on paid leave last month. The grand jury indicted her earlier this month on charges of theft in office and tampering with records. Spears entered a written plea of not guilty today in Carroll County Common Pleas Court. She's accused of taking more than $27,000 in district money over 2 years, starting in October 2022. Investigators say she created fraudulent Ashland University student account statements and reimbursement documents. Families that use the Stuckey Interfaith Child Development Center for childcare are having to make other arrangements. The center announced last week it would close for the summer. The closure is effective May 30th. The center, which opened in 1968, is facing allegations of child abuse involving employees from two families, which have combined to file a lawsuit in Stark County Common Pleas Court. The center says it will reopen in the fall with a new leadership team and will bring new programs, policy updates, and streamlined communication. The facility will also undergo a deep cleaning during the summer. A woman died as the result of a vehicle versus pedestrian accident in North Canton. Police were called to the intersection of 7th Street Northeast and North Main Street April 29th. A preliminary investigation shows a city vehicle was westbound on 7th and making a left turn onto North Main when it struck 78-year-old Joanne Smith. She was taken to a local hospital, then transferred to another facility for further treatment. She died last Sunday at Altman Compassionate Care Center in Jackson Township. The Canton Regional Crash Team is investigating the incident. A new superintendent will soon be in place for the Lake Local School District. The Board of Education is expected to hire Brett Yeagley during a special meeting Saturday. He has served as superintendent of the Canton Local School District since 2021. Yeagley would replace Kevin Tobin, who plans to retire August 1st. Yeagley is a graduate of Malone University, the American College of Education, and Concordia University. Breeze Airways has resumed service from Akron Canton Airport to Los Angeles. The seasonal nonstop flights began today with one-way fares starting at $119. Breeze announced earlier this month that it will begin service from CAK to 6 new destinations in Florida and North Carolina this fall. A substitute teacher for the Columbiana County Educational Service Center faces charges of pandering obscenity and drug paraphernalia. 42-year-old John McFarland of Lisbon was arrested by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force following an investigation. He allegedly sent a video showing a male juvenile engaged in sexual conduct through social media in October 2022. McFarland is also accused of emailing 9 videos depicting minors taking part in sex acts May 5th. Authorities reportedly found him in possession of several videos showing children being sexually assaulted or engaging in sexual activity Wednesday. McFarland was arraigned today in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He has been suspended by the ESC. A lawsuit stemming from the 2023 train derailment in East Palestine has been settled and dismissed with prejudice. The entry in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court did not disclose the terms. It involved Michigan-based insurance company California Casualty Indemnity Exchange and Norfolk Southern. The insurer sued the railroad earlier this year. They sought reimbursement for about $26,000 paid to the owner of a West Grant Street property for alleged damages caused by the derailment. That's the amount California Casualty paid out for repairs to the home and replacement, repairs, or destruction of personal property. A Youngstown man has been granted judicial release from prison. 57-year-old Charles Berger Jr. was sentenced in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court in August 2021 to 5 to 6 years behind bars. He pleaded guilty to felonious assault and a weapons charge. Prosecutors say Berger shot a woman during a domestic dispute at a Cassius Avenue address in May 2020. The victim recovered from her injuries. The release granted by Judge John Durkin is effective immediately. Berger would have been eligible for parole in 11 months. The assault of a man at an Austintown business lands another man in prison. Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Anthony D'Onofrio sentenced 32-year-old Nathaniel Freibarger of Toledo to 4 to 6 years behind bars Wednesday. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of kidnapping and 1 count each of felonious assault and aggravated robbery. On November 15th, Freibarger pulled a knife on a man at a Mahoning Avenue address. He demanded money and a PIN number after the victim said he wasn't carrying cash. Freibarger then told the victim to take off his socks and shoes so he could sniff his feet. After the man complied, Freibarger pushed him into a bathroom stall and cut his hand. He suffered minor injuries. A Youngstown firefighter charged with workers' compensation fraud and theft has admitted to a lesser charge. Patrick Bundy pleaded guilty in Franklin County Common Pleas Court to criminal mischief. There was no word on a sentence. He was indicted by a grand jury in February. Bundy's trial was scheduled to begin May 8th. A suspension without pay from the Youngstown Fire Department is scheduled to expire at the end of the month. Warren police have identified the victims of 2 fatal shootings. 22-year-old Jody Hall was found dead in a vehicle that was on its side near the Fairview Gardens Apartments May 16th. Officers had been called to the area about gunfire. On Monday, 38-year-old Norman Miller was discovered dead in a pickup near West Market Street and Southern Boulevard. A call to 911 reported that someone had been killed. The shootings are not believed to be related. Both are under investigation. Akron police are investigating an assault on a Lyft driver. Officers responded to the 800 block of Bisson Avenue for a shots fired call shortly after 11:30 Monday night. Officers found a 28-year-old woman who had been hit in the leg by a bullet fragment. Her vehicle and at least 1 other car were also struck by gunfire. Police recovered multiple rifle rounds from the scene. They said the suspect is described as a black male standing about 5'7", heavy-set and bald, and wearing a white T-shirt. Authorities investigating a 24-year-old posing as a teenager to enroll at an Ohio high school said what they've learned about the case so far appears to be just the tip of the iceberg. Perrysburg Police Chief Pat Jones says Anthony Labrador Sierra, arrested Monday, is a Venezuelan national who's been in the United States illegally since March of 2020. Federal immigration authorities and the FBI are now involved as numerous questions abound, like how the man obtained 2 Ohio driver's licenses, one of a type given to residents under 18 and another given to adults, each with a different birth date. A previous police report states his work visa expired in 2023. That's when he enrolled at Perrysburg High School, claiming to be homeless. The Wood County Juvenile Court placed him in guardianship with a local family. The Department of Job and Family Services says Ohioans filed 5,314 initial unemployment claims last week, 189 less than the previous week. 748 of those have been flagged for more stringent identity verification. Ohioans filed 48,143 continued unemployment claims last week, which were 830 less than the previous week. Ohio's unemployment rate in April was 4.9%. The national rate was 4.2%. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 41,859, down 1 point. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 53 points higher at 18,925, and the S&P 500 closed at 5,842, up 3 points. It's 52 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Keep the umbrella handy for this afternoon. Showers and a high near 54. For the overnight, cloudy skies. The threat of showers will linger on, the low of 45. Clouds will hang around for Friday with a chance of afternoon showers, a high reaching 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need, to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids.
I can dance.
I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal, a three for the win, and goal! He got it!
And he tried to give your choke sign to the Knicks, and the game's not over.
Wow! Picked up by Nimhard, down by three. Here is a three for the tie, short. Caught by Hart, out to Towns, to tie, no! Rebound, fought for, loose, Bridges has got it. Clock is ticking, out of bounds. It's Indiana's ball with .2 to go.
In the ninth.
2 outs, Twins down to their final out. It's Harrison Bader.
Off the end of the bat, didn't get much of it. Quan has a routine play, book it. The Guardians earn a split in the rain-shortened 2-game series here in Minneapolis as they win today by a final score of 5-1.
All right, Matty Underwood, Cleveland Guardians TV. Before that, the audio courtesy of our friends at TNT Television. What a game last night. Pacers beat the Knicks in overtime, 138-135. Guardians split the twin bill with the Twins. Cleveland and the Detroit Tigers tonight. Game one, hopefully they'll play game one of a 4-game series at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying dry. My gosh, I know it's been something out there, but I think by tomorrow morning, I think we're going to start to dry out. I think we're going to be okay. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. It's a 3-question Thursday edition here on the program. Before we go any further, we got some traffic I need to tell you about. 62 West is backed up at the beginning at the 77 South exit. All backed up. Please, if you can, avoid that area. Again, a big traffic backup at 62 West and 77 South. So avoid that area if you can. All right, question number one of the 3-question Thursday quiz. Number one, who's your all-time favorite sports pro athlete? Who would that be? I want you to think about that. Question number two, what's your go-to karaoke song? And question number three, where's your best place to go get ribs? That's our 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll read some of our comments coming up here in just a few minutes. I want to thank GlenOak baseball coach Ray Frisbee for joining us earlier today, and the new head basketball coach at Louisville, David Wertz, also joined us on the program today on 1310 WDPN on this day in sports history coming up here at the bottom of the hour. But without any further ado, let's get some more baseball talk going. North Canton Hoover Vikings, 14-11, going to try to make a little run here. And I know they got the skipper to do it. Brian Ashby, head coach of the Vikings baseball team, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Coach Brian, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm staying dry. I'm inside. I'm staying dry. It has been,
a heck of a season for that, I tell you that.
Oh, my gosh. Brian, can you imagine if you guys didn't have turf?
Oh, my gosh. Today, I don't know how guys are doing it now. I mean, especially this season. I mean, we are blessed. I mean, the field we play on is like the field of dreams. It really is.
It is, and it looks so nice. I mean, gosh, if folks haven't gotten over to North Canton Hoover to watch a baseball game, and I know it's been wet and chilly, but if you get a chance, it is really a beautiful facility. Well, here we go. We're 25 games in, and the season has kind of flown by, as it always does. But as we go down the home stretch here, Coach, how you playing? What are you doing well, and what do you think you can keep doing to maybe take it up a next level or two and maybe, get hot and make a little run here?
Well, the staples that we've always hinged our program on here is pitching and defense, and we have done a very good job of that this season, and we continue to do that. You look at our pitching staff, we've got 6 guys that have pitched like 20 innings plus, all 6 of them. accounting for 12 of those wins. And the good thing about that is all of those guys, all 6 of those guys will be back for next season. A couple sophomores in there as well. We've given up maybe 70 runs all year. I think we're giving up like less than 3 runs a game. We're like a 2.19 ERA, and the batting average against is like somewhere around 204, 203. So we're doing the job on the mound. If we can continue to do the job, Sam, you're an old pitcher, just like I was, and it begins and ends with pitching.
You better believe it.
And if you've got arms that you can make a run through these tournaments, and all these coaches know that, you've got a couple guys that can get you to the next game. You got a guy that can go deep and save that bullpen a little bit. It helps. It helps a lot. So we really do. We really stress pitching, and our fielding has been outstanding this year. We've been fielding around a whole 9.7 clip all season. Lately, we had a couple of games where we made some errors. Maybe they just tighten up a little bit, changing lineup a little bit. Some new guys in there, just maybe less concentration, but we're still fielding at a high clip, somewhere in that 9.6, 9.7 range. But if we can continue doing that, I think we will have a successful tournament run. But every coach knows you have to have timely hits.
Oh, yeah.
And the timely hits have been a thorn for us earlier in the season, led to some of those 11 losses. We have had a pretty tough schedule, and we like it that way. We want our guys to keep us ready for the Federal League, considering that's, to me, I don't know that there's another league in the state of Ohio that does it like we do it here. I think we were talking here in the office, the overall record in the league is like 110-63.
Yeah, it's strong. It's strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I looked at your schedule this morning, and I'm thinking, okay, 14-11, and people are probably thinking, 14-11. Look, you had a rough night against Wadsworth. That was it. Everything else has been like within 2 or 3 runs, a couple of 1-run games. You guys have been in a lot of games, and that's got to help you down the stretch, right?
Oh, it absolutely does. We have played a lot of tournament-style games. The atmosphere in a lot of our games have been tournament. These guys are battle-tested. I mean, my son Mason, he told me a couple weeks ago he's been following us, through the season and stuff, and he said, Dad, Max Preps has got you guys. They have you as the number 1 ranked toughest schedule in the state of Ohio for Division II.
Whoa!
And I was like, really?
Okay.
And I went back and I was looking at it, and yeah, there's no comparison to anybody. We have the toughest schedule in all of Division II in the state of Ohio. It is we're battle tested, and the kids they love to play at that level, and that's what we want to do. We want to continue to build that culture and build that program where these guys get into any game and they feel that they can compete with anyone.
Well, since you brought his name up, I got to wish Mason a happy birthday, right? Just turned 19?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he just turned 19. We always laugh. He could be playing for us this year if we would have just started him just a little bit later in school.
Should have held him back, Coach. Hold him back.
Bring him back.
Brian Ashby is our guest, the head coach of North Canton Hoover Baseball here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So let's talk about some of your guys that have been really instrumental in your season so far, and whether it's a couple of pitchers, some fielders or hitters, or maybe guys, Coach, that just bring those intangibles to the park every day. Who are we talking about?
Well, the big straw in our camp here is Jack Andes. The guy, he stirs the drink, and he does it from center field. He's our leadoff guy. And, talking to a coach at the district meeting just this past Sunday, he said, yeah, everybody knows you better have a lead if you play Hoover from the past the 5th inning, because they bring Jack Andes in to close the door, it's over. He's done a fantastic job for us this year in that leadoff role. He was kind of hesitant about that because, that's been, Mason, we talked about Mason. That was his spot for the past 3 years. And Jack was in the 2-hole right behind him. Mm-hmm. And but Jack has done a wonderful job. He's hitting, I think, somewhere in that 344 range. But, guys know they got to keep him off the base. He broke his own single season record for stolen bases. and he just broke Mason's career stolen base record here at Hoover High School. He's got 39 on the year, and it's counting. So he does a fantastic job for us. He's got 6 saves. He's got a 0.00 ERA, and he does a fantastic job. But we got guys like we have a lot of returning guys. Carter Lukens has had a fantastic year at third base. Got a guy that he has grown up tremendously. He's more comfortable in the field. Last year started almost every single game for us as a sophomore, and you could see that that experience is shining through this year. He's done a great job for us at the plate. He's hitting in that 320 range, I believe. We've got Roman Geiselman, our sophomore. He's been out in right field. He's come on as late, but he's been there on the mound for us. Is in that middle relief. He got his first start the other night against Louisville, but he's done a tremendous job coming in. Great poise, composure on the mound. We have Ryan Cervenak, a sophomore, playing shortstop for us. He's done the job for us, in the field and at the plate. He's hitting over 300. Jake Donaldson, Evan Fuller. But Jake, going back to Jake is this is his third year with us. Him and Jack both came up as freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake he's got a veteran. He's been experienced. He was with that whole run for us last year. He pitched us, won us a district final, and and tried to he had that unenviable task to face Twinsburg last year, which we lost 6-3 in that regional final. He was there. Did a tremendous job for us all season last season, and doing so again this year from second base, and also being that Tuesday night starter for us in the league. Has done an admirable job leading us there. So some other guys that are newcomers, we have guys like Evan Fuller, Jack Zarco, Big Jack, man. He's fun to play.
Another Zarco, huh?
Zarco is 6'4", 280. They see a big guy, big first baseman like that, they are always pitching around him. In fact, he had a walk-off 3-run bomb against Massillon last week, and it was an exciting time. But he's heading to Miami to play football. Just a great kid.
Very good. We're talking baseball, North Canton Hoover Vikings baseball, with the head coach Brian Ashby here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So, mentor coach is coming up, and then you've got Normandy in the first tournament game. With all the weather, you guys have been able to somehow work around that. How will you approach the mentor game as you prepare for what is the one and done part of your schedule?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, mentor always, we like to, ever since I've been a head coach, we've been trying to, we try to play mentor every year. They are a great program. Always up to task for us and keep us on our toes, and they make us better. And you always want to play teams that make you better. And we're going to continue doing that. We're going to make sure that, we got the guys out there to keep them in rhythm, keep that continuity going for Tuesday, because we've got to be ready for a Parma Normandy team coming down to playoffs in that district semifinal. So they will certainly up the task for us and keep us on point. Especially with we're lucky we have this field house, this baseball facility here that we're able to get swings in and get some indoor work. We just got done doing some plyometrics and agility stuff, speed work, just to keep our guys' legs moving. And with all this rain, it's a pain. So we got to do everything we can to keep these guys playing and keeping them in rhythm and making sure they have that consistency.
As many times as I go by Memorial Stadium and I'll go by the baseball facility, and I always happen to see a couple of cars. There's always something going on inside with the baseball. And you know what? With weather like this and in this area, to have something like that, man, you got to use it like crazy, because a lot of teams don't have that, and you can gain an edge. You talked about keeping guys sharp. That's a huge deal for you, isn't it?
It's an extremely huge deal. Our program has elevated just because of the work and the reps that we're able to do. No matter what the weather is outside, we're able to, we're able to push the inside curtains back, and we can open the whole thing up to be the width and the height and the width and length of the building. And we can get some infield work in, not a full infield, but enough that we can actually get reps in and do things that we need to do. We got 3 full lanes in here that we can get pitchers and catchers going. We can get hitting going. And those cars that you probably see I know one of them's mine. So
I know.
I live here. My wife knows it. She's like, every time I text her on the way home, I'm blocking the door. I say, I'm on my way. So, yeah. My boys, I'll tell you what, growing up, I mean, I know when Height and I, we put this thing together, and it was, I think the first year we were in this facility, it was 2014.
Okay.
And I can tell you, Mason and Connor both have, I remember Mason has slept on the turf in that, because Connor and I'd be working, we'd be working with guys, and them guys were always tagging along ever since they were young kids, man, just having a blast. But what a better way to grow up, right?
Oh, you can't beat it. Coach Brian Ashby is our guest here on the Sam Bourquin Show. All right, Coach, before we go, it's a 3-question Thursday. Are you ready for your quiz?
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, remember, there's no wrong answers, all right? Question number 1. Who is your all-time favorite pro sports athlete?
Oh, there's no question. Stark County's own, Chris Spielman.
Chris Spielman.
I am
Love
a
it.
huge Chris Spielman fan.
Love it. Question number 2. Your go-to karaoke song. What is it, Coach?
Well, my wife loves, Kristen Sam. She loves karaoke. And if there's karaoke or anything going on, she is a huge Bon Jovi fan. And
oh my goodness!
Living in a Prayer isn't on that karaoke machine, and it ain't happening.
You know what? I got to tell you, Coach, and I actually wrote this down. I had you pegged for Garth Brooks, When the Thunder Rolls. That's what I thought you were going to tell me.
Well, if it was me, I would go with Thunderstruck. Oh, I love Thunderstruck. I love it. Give me some AC/DC.
All right. Well, we're learning.
I got some country roots, boy, but before game time, man, that Thunderstruck's got to be rolling, man.
All right. Boy, we're learning all kind of good stuff about you today. All right. Question number 3. Coach Ashby, when you're hungry for ribs, where are you going?
Oh, my gosh. Ribs. I'm going for ribs. Gosh, where am I going, Sam? Jeez.
You're going to the Hoover right? Indoor Facility. That's where you're going.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's where you're going. Right. Bring me some ribs over.
Ribs cooking.
Right.
Hey, the old school, man, we've always gone to Mulligan's,
Okay.
I know they've had some great ribs in the past. They're very tasty over there.
There you go. You can't beat that. No, you can't beat that. Coach, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. I hope you get that game in against Metter. Weather's looking good, and let's have a nice long tournament run and catch up here in a couple of weeks. How's that sound?
Let's do that. Sounds like a deal, Sam. Thanks a lot for having me.
You got it. There you go. Here he is, Brian Ashby, the head baseball coach of the Vikings of North Canton Hoover. All right, the news and the weather is coming up next right here on 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Authorities say 2 people died and multiple others were injured when a private jet crashed into military housing in San Diego during foggy weather. The accident ignited cars parked along a suburban neighborhood block and killed multiple people on board the plane. Assistant San Diego Fire Chief Dan Eddy says the aircraft could hold 8 to 10 people, but it's unknown how many were on the aircraft. He says authorities will be investigating whether the plane hit a power line. The aircraft crashed just before 4 a.m. today into the U.S. military's largest housing neighborhood. A suspect is in custody after 2 Israeli embassy staffers, a young couple, were shot and killed while leaving an event at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Police say the suspect walked into the museum shortly after the shooting, saying "Free Palestine," before he was taken into custody. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest from President Trump, who spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today.
President Trump spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today and discussed the shooting in Washington, D.C. that left 2 Israeli embassy staffers dead. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is outraged and saddened by the deaths.
The evil of anti-Semitism must be eradicated from our society.
Leavitt said the president and Netanyahu also spoke about progress on a nuclear agreement with Iran and said the president believes it's moving in the right direction. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
House Republicans stayed up all night to pass their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package. Speaker Mike Johnson defied skeptics within his ranks and muscled President Trump's priority bill to approval today. Last-minute concessions and a stern warning from the president appeared to win over the holdouts to salvage what he calls the big, beautiful bill. The outcome caps an intense time on Capitol Hill with days of private negotiations and public committee hearings. Democrats, without the votes to stop Trump's package, tried to stall it. The Congressional Budget Office says the tax provisions would add $3.8 trillion to federal deficits. Even as recovery continues from last year's devastating hurricanes, federal forecasters are expecting another active storm season this year. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Improved technology and modeling brought a near-perfect prediction to the 2024 Atlantic storm season. In 2025, National Weather Service Director Ken Graham is expecting 13 to 19 named storms, those with winds above 39 miles per hour.
Of these, 6 to 10 are forecast to become hurricanes, and 3 to 5 is the number of major hurricanes as Cat 3 and above.
Hurricane season starts June 1st, but Graham is urging people living along the coast to prepare emergency kits now. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
It's 52 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the rest of your Thursday afternoon, showers and a high reaching 54. Showers likely for the overnight, otherwise cloudy, cool, a low around 45. Can't rule out some afternoon showers Friday, cloudy and a high near 55. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
I'm a wife and the mother of 2 kids, and I've got a good job.
Bye, Mom. See you, Mom.
A pretty important job. Because of my family and my job, I really care about this neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. Yes, there's some crime. And when I drive to work, like now, I realize that some people here don't trust the police. So the police should be reaching out to this community, and this community should reach out to the police. That's the way to make this a safer place. And when I get to work in the precinct house and put on my uniform, I can tell you as a police officer that this department is reaching out to the community, and the community is doing its part. We're building partnerships. This should be happening everywhere. This is how we can all be safer. Get involved. Start the conversation.
Start the conversation and help stop crime. To learn the 5 things you can do, go to ncpc.org/prevent violent crime. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Great vision doesn't require great sight. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Make your impact today. Donate now at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
It's that time. Love this part of the day. It's on this day in sports history here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. On this day in sports history, 1968. Gold Pops. Willie Stargell, the Pittsburgh Pirates, hit 3 home runs, a single, and a double. On this day in 1970, the Buffalo Sabres and the Vancouver Canucks were officially granted NHL franchises for the 1970-71 season. The Vancouver Canucks. Wow. On this day in 1975, Joe Namath refused a $4 million offer to go play for Chicago in the World Football League. On this day in 1977, Janet Guthrie set the fastest time for the second weekend of qualifying, becoming the first woman to earn a starting spot in the Indy 500 since its inception back in 1911. 1991, the NFL owners agreed to add 2 new teams to the league. In 1994, they would be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. I got a story about that coming up. Remind me, Rainsburg. I want to tell that story.
It'll be easy to remember. 94 is the year I was born.
All right, that's cool. On this day in 2003 at the Colonial in Fort Worth, Texas, Annika Sorenstam became the first woman to play on the PGA Tour in 58 years. She ended the day at 1 over par. All right, on this day, Barry Bonds hit home run number 583.
His last 5 games. In the 6th, this is what history looks like. High and fair. Home run, Barry Bonds, one more time. Not a lot to say, just enjoy the view. Barry does. The man is unbelievable. 583, and Barry gives thanks.
Scott Van Pelt from ESPN. That home run would tie Mark McGwire for 5th on the all-time list. On this day in 2003, remember a guy by the name of LeBron James? He signed a $90 million deal with Nike for his first big endorsement.
And I moved my mom out of the hood. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood. The next day, I signed that contract. And ultimately, my whole thing is what do I want to wear off the court? It's I want to wear Nikes.
There was LeBron James. That was on the Pat McAfee show. And finally, on this day in 2002, remember Mark Pryor? He became the 14th Chicago Cubs player since 1920. He went out and won his major league debut.
He swung at a bad ball, grounds to short, and Kendall is retired. Mark Pryor gives up the home run, strikes out the next 2, and gets a ground ball to short. Standing ovation for Pryor, who strikes out 10 in his big league debut in Chicago.
And that was back in 2002. That was Chip Carey, by the way, on the call on the Cubs television network right there. That'll wrap up another day in sports history. We do it every day, Monday through Friday, right around 5:30. A little bit late today, but usually around 5:30 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. All right, I'm putting out an APB for our newsman, Jeff Mears. I don't know if he's listening or not. I don't even know if Jeff is still in the building. But if he is, I want him to come in here. First of all, we got to find out what happened last night at that West Branch school meeting. And I understand some crazy stuff going on there. And then I want to have him take the 3-question Thursday quiz. So, Jeffrey, if you're in the building and you're not busy, pop on over to Studio A. We would love to have you. Our 3-question Thursday quiz continues on all of our social media platforms. You can also dial us in at 330-821-1310. Question number 1, what is your all-time, I keep saying what? It's written right in front of me. Who? I wrote it. Who is your all-time favorite sports pro athlete? Question 2. What's your go-to karaoke song? And number 3, what's the best place in the area to go get ribs? You can also give us a ring, 330-821-1310. All right, I got some that I have not read here today yet. Walter Young. Walter, hope you're doing well. He says LeBron James is his favorite sports athlete. He's never done karaoke. When he goes and get ribs, he is headed to the Texas Roadhouse. Rocky checking in today. His all-time favorite pro athlete, the great Jim Brown. Karaoke song, Rocky says, nobody, including me, wants to hear me sing. Okay. And the question number 3 for ribs, he says, hey, you can't beat it. First and third Saturday of the month at Palumbo's on Portage. Eric Fouts checking in today. Chris Spielman is his favorite sports athlete. His go-to karaoke song, Rocky Mountain High. When he goes and gets ribs, Eric is headed to Old Carolina. Robin checks in. Bernie Kosar, his favorite pro athlete, America Pie is his go-to karaoke song. And he goes to Giant Eagle for his favorite ribs. He says, hey, I'm lazy and cheap, and that's how I do it. All right. Kent Klagneck checking in today. Bernie Kosar, his favorite pro athlete. Ticket to Ride is his go-to karaoke song. And Sublime Smoke is where he goes and gets his ribs. 2 more here. Kenny Clapsaddle. Kenny, thanks for checking in today, and thanks for listening. His favorite athletes, Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders. He says, Sam, I've never done karaoke. John's Bar is his go-to for ribs. And last but not least, our man Keller. Jerome Bettis is his favorite pro sports athlete. Kryptonite. I think that's 3 doors down, right? That's his favorite karaoke song. And Keller says, Sammy, you've had my barbecue ribs for sure. I eat my ribs at home 100%. Those were good too, man. He brought barbecued ribs in here about a week and a half ago, and we destroyed them. He brought buns in. He brought napkins and plates and the whole 9 yards. And they were really, really good. Keller ought to think about opening up a little barbecue shack. We'll call it Keller's BBQ. I'll come over and help you run it for a nominal fee. All right, Rainsburg, you're supposed to remind me something. What was it?
It was whatever happened in 1994 in the sports history.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because Jeff has seemed to have gone for the day.
Jeff has disappeared.
Yes, he has left us in the dust.
Shame. Okay, so on this day in 1991, the NFL owners agreed to add a couple of new teams to the NFL to start playing, and that would have been 1994 was the first year they would come in. And it was the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. Now, fun trivia fact, yours truly, I got to announce the Hall of Fame game that year between Jacksonville and Carolina. It was their first ever game in the NFL. You talk about being excited. Look, if you would have told me as a young kid I was going to call an NFL game, I'd have said you're out of your mind. And I know it's the Hall of Fame game. It's preseason. But you got to remember back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of times these teams were playing their starters, at least for a quarter, some a quarter and a half. Now it's a lot different now, but back then, teams played. They played their guys. They're trying to, get better, get ready to go. And at the station I was working at the time, we were allowed to broadcast the Hall of Fame game. And so it was 1994. It was June, July, August. I believe it might have been like August the 1st or August 2nd. And it was hot. But I wanted to look professional. I had on a suit that day. I was wringing wet. I mean, it was disgusting. You know how hot it could get during Hall of Fame Saturday? And this was when the parade was at like 8:30. The enshrinement was at, 10:30 or 11? and then the game would kick off at like 3 o'clock. So it is right in the middle of the day. It's so hot. So Jim Johnson, the best that ever did it, he was the master of ceremonies for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Excuse me, when they used to do it down on the steps in front of the hall. So we had everything all worked out. We would cover the parade in the morning, cover the enshrinement, and do the game. Now you got to remember, I first started there in 93. This was only my second year. And JJ said, hey, I want you to help me out this year a little bit. He says, I think the enshrinement is probably going to go a little bit long, so I'm not going to be able to get up to the top of the press box in time to open up our broadcast. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Yeah, he was sure. So I got ready. I prepped. I had my notes. I had the inaugural, and I still have these today at home. I got the inaugural Jacksonville Jaguars and Carolina Panthers, what would they call, media guides. And I'm going through looking for any little thing I can learn about these teams. They're expansion teams. Really, nobody knew of anybody on these teams, but it was history. These teams were going to take the field as NFL teams for the first time ever. And I didn't even realize how big of a moment that it was. But boy, as the parade was winding up and the enshrinement was moving on, I started getting that, you get that little lump in your throat, that little queasy feeling in your stomach. And I thought, oh my God. And I was going to open the broadcast. I was going to do the play-by-play until Jim got up there. And I thought, oh man, this is unbelievable. So I actually got to broadcast, do play-by-play for the first ever game with Jacksonville and Carolina at then Fawcett Stadium over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I will never ever forget that. That was incredible. And that was back in 1994. And yes, the Carolina Panthers have been to a Super Bowl. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have been, I believe, to at least one, maybe two AFC championship games. I'm not sure. And the Cleveland Browns have never been to the Super Bowl. And here's the expansion Carolina Panthers. They come rolling in the league in 1994. And it wasn't too terribly long after they came into the NFL that they had a shot to go win the Super Bowl. And remember the Jacksonville Jaguars when they came in, and of course they would, Tom Coughlin was there for a long, long time. They had great players, Jimmy Smith, and who was the quarterback? Mark Brunell. They had some great wide receivers. Jonathan Stewart was a great running back. They had Hall of Famer Tony Baselli. Remember Tony Baselli was a member of those teams. They had some players, man. Jacksonville was legit. And that was a big thrill for me back in 94 to call that game. I just wanted to kind of share that with you all today. All right, we got about 9 minutes left here in the program. Your last chance or two to get through, 330-821-1310. We'd love for you to take the 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll come back and preview the Guardians and the Tigers. We will thank our guests that came on today, and we'll look ahead to a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition here of the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us, everybody. More to come on 1310 WDPN.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
My doctor said I could use something called a biosimilar. Then she told me what it is.
A biosimilar is a type of biologic medication. Just like brand name drugs have generic versions, original biologics can have biosimilars.
So I asked what the benefits are and if they work the same.
Biosimilars have the same safety, effectiveness, and quality as the original biologic. They also offer more medication options at potentially more competitive prices.
My doctor said I could learn more at fda.gov/biosimilars.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent.
Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent.
Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10, present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Back, everybody. We've got about 7 minutes left in the program. Hey, I want to thank my guest today. Boy, we had fun today. We always have fun. But I want to thank GlenOak baseball coach Ray Frisbee for joining us this afternoon. Louisville, new basketball coach David Wertz. And shout out to Hoover baseball coach Brian Ashby. Thank you all for coming on today on the program on 1310 WDPN. And if you're listening now and you missed those interviews, Rainsburg, what's the easiest way, because I know you can explain this better than me, what's the easiest way people can go back and watch and or listen to interviews on the show?
The entire show goes up on the Facebook page, the Twitter page, and the YouTube page. So you're welcome to tune in and watch any part of the show that aired before on there. And then we can look into maybe uploading some highlights at some point. It's not off the table.
Okay. I like what you're thinking over
We'll have
there.
to look into that to edit out some interviews.
I think that's a must. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll pay you extra. How's that?
Oh, hey. No, that's all you needed to say.
I'll pay you extra.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, the Guardians and the Tigers are getting ready for a 4-game series in Motown. As we get set, and I believe first pitch tonight is 6:40. And I think they're on schedule to play on time. Cleveland is 6 games behind Detroit. You really need to get a split here. I think you need to get a split. You don't want to get swept. They need to be 10 out. Going home with your tail between your legs, and then the LA Dodgers are coming in for 3. So you at least want to get out of Detroit with a couple of wins. Yesterday, I thought it was going to be a really bad day. They lost game 1, 6-5, and they looked like they were kind of hanging their hats a little bit, but they would come back in that second game, and they got a nice win to split the 2. Little post game here with Stephen Vogt, just a couple of minutes, but I kind of wanted you to hear his comments and how he thought how big of a game that was yesterday in the nightcap to get out of there with a win and head to Detroit. Here's Stephen Vogt.
Day, just what did you say about your team pulling this one out?
I mean, that was a tough day for both sides. I mean, the weather was not great. The field was slippery. The grounds crew did a great job keeping it playable. But for our guys to battle through that, Gavin pitched absolutely outstanding. He attacked the strike zone, the one inning where they made him work and threw 30 pitches. Other than that, he was super efficient, got us through 6 so we could hand it over the bullpen. So really proud of our guys, the way they kept adding on in the second game. And, yeah, it was just great to get a win.
Talk about Gavin. I think it was 30 pitches through the first 2 innings. I think it was 8 in the first. What did it mean for him to come out ready like that in this type of weather?
We needed it. This is 2 years in a row in Minnesota. He's come out and been the stopper. And, Gavin steps up for us. And it just shows you a lot about who he is. I thought, the mix of the fastballs today, he threw a couple sinkers, cutters, along with the four seam, and Hedgie called a great game for him. So really, really pleased with Gavin today.
I don't ask you about walks very often, but that Gabby, just what does that say about who he is and where he's at right now?
Gabby has had an unbelievable year so far. It's been a tough stretch for him this last week or so, but he continues to just have great at-bats. I think he hit a homer in the whatever inning that was, but the ball just didn't go. So for Gabby to spit on those pitches and lay off, it's just such a pro at bat when we needed it most. And for our guys to come through in those situations, we had the opportunity in the first and didn't come through. So for us to come through in that inning and then continue to add on, and Carlos with the big, insurance run, that was huge.
Along those same lines, Nolan Jones comes in and executes in the at-bat following that just to get the ball up in the air and get another run.
Yeah, Nolan's been, again, he had good at-bats in the first game, good at-bats second game. He's really starting to find his groove. The results just haven't been there for Nolan. He's hitting the ball hard. He's executing his plan. When he's on the fastball, he's really, really good. And that was a great at-bat to get the sac fly. And just like I said, our guys played a really, really clean game 2.
Told me, I think Kansas City.
All right, that was audio courtesy of Clee Guardians TV. You could hear my guy Andre not there firing a few questions. That was the postgame yesterday in Minnesota after the Guardians split a doubleheader with the Minnesota Twins. Okay, real quickly, tomorrow it all begins. The 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burnoff, Rainsburg. What do we got starting tomorrow and carry us into the weekend?
We have Nicolina going live on Q92 from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. She'll be on the air twice an hour to tell you guys what's going on at the Rib Burnoff. So
sounds good. And we got the folks will be over there. I'll be over there Saturday. I'll be over there Sunday. I know Christian's going to be over there. So we're looking forward to it. The weather's going to break, folks. I promise you, this rain's going to be out of here. And by tomorrow, it's going to be dry, and it's going to be a little cool, but it's going to be good. It's going to be perfect for Ribs Burnoff. All right. That's going to be at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Join us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Wow. Had fun today.
If you gotta give me 1 sec, I just want to shout out our 2 Facebook commenters. We've got Matthew, who's saying hi, Sam, telling you you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Matthew.
And we have Bill over here saying, hey, Sam, it's Bill.
All right, Bill. Thanks for watching, partner.
Wanted to shout those guys out before we got out of here.
We always appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening and watching and putting comments out. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks to my partner, Ryan Rainsburg, across the glass here. Thanks to all the callers, the emailers, texters. Thanks to my guest today, Ray Frisbee, David Wertz, Brian Ashby, and most of all, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night. Stay dry. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Good night.